Hey everyone, today this is the third pressure washer like this I've had. So instead of having one where we have to diagnose the engine and figure out a whole bunch of other stuff, I'm going to show just how to remove step by step the pump. Because guess what, most of the time with the pressure washer you have two problems: carb and pump. Carb's fine on this, so we're going to work on the pump. So I have a 5/16 bit with the extension, and then what I did is I took out the little screws. So there's one here and on the other side. So that's the first step. This next part isn't exactly hard, but it can be a little annoying. You have to find a bit that's gonna fit. This one's egged out. I can tell someone's been in here already, but usually, hey, let's see, what is this? An H9 will fit in there. So as you can tell, this plastic piece is not going to be fitting very well over at least this one and this one as well. So we need to take both of them off. So to do so, let me put you down. Unfortunately, that's just not coming off, so we're not going to worry about it because it's this one that's really the problem. So we're going to cut this. There we go. Yeah, that was egged out pretty good in there. Of course, I didn't necessarily help it too much. From here, I can just take like a channel lock or something and take it off probably, but like I said, we don't really care. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to take a 7/8. We're going to loosen this one. Now this one we do kind of want to be careful with. The reason why is this person has a quick connect, and if you have a quick connect, this is going to be a piece that does not come on a standard pump, so you do not want to damage this. We'll probably put a little Teflon on there just in case. That's fine. So now that comes off and we have the pump. So let me get ready for the next set of instructions. This next piece isn't exactly too, I don't know, well known, but underneath here is a little hose. That hose can be a real pain, so I like to just cut it. This little holds it on to the actual base, and with that cut, let's cut the other side too. When it comes time to remove it, it's going to be a whole lot easier than not. And with the pump dangling around, see what I mean? That was, attached. We don't need this anymore because the pump we're going to install, because we're upgrading, is the one that won't have that piece. Now, more likely than not, if you are having a problem with this pump, this is going to be your problem. That should not do that. There's a little piece in there that loves to do nothing more except break. Basically what it is there's like a little cam in there and it just shakes it back and forth, and then it creates the pressure with that movement. The metal on there is maybe a 5/16 cast aluminum of all things, so it's not exactly the most ideal metal for that type of thing, but that's what they wanted. So this is also a finger guillotine. I have seen these online for sale without this black cover. That's not good. Don't do that. You need to make sure that cover is on, because when this is moving, look how sharp this is. Or right here. In fact, when you take off these 4 bolts, be careful you don't hurt your fingers or your knuckles or your wrist or whatever on this edge. Now, I like to take the bottom bolts off first, because if you take the top ones off, the pump has a tendency of leaning down because of the weight, and it becomes a lot harder. This one's not so important because you have the other bolt back there, but it still can be a little difficult. Next, we have a 5/8 bolt right here we need to take off. Before we do that though, we're going to unplug the spark plug. Okay? Because there's a possibility of the engine spinning over, and the last thing that we want is this to start and then fling the pump around. Now, if you do not have an impact driver, and you're just going to use a normal ratchet or wrench, then you're going to want to take a piece of rope, take the plug out, and then shove the rope down there into the cylinder hole. That way when the piston's going back up, it just compresses it and has nowhere else to go. So after that, we should be pretty much almost there. We need to see, now we just remove that, or to clip that first, so we are good to go with the rest of the removal. That goes in the recycling bin, or recycling area, not the bin. Next we have this that we no longer will need. Sometimes you can get lucky and these will slide off. We are not lucky though from the sounds of it, so we get an Allen. Okay, so we have an Allen. It doesn't take a lot, it should just come off unless it's seized on there. There we go. Okay. Now we're ready. I want to pull the engine over a little bit to get the key slot to be facing up, or at least as close to up as I can. We're gonna get the pump. Okay, so that's how you remove the pump. It's not that hard. Like I said, more likely than not, you're gonna be replacing it, but if you need to do engine work, maybe the crank. In fact, on this, not this machine, but this very model, I've had to take the belt, the timing belt off, or it fell off, and in order to really get it timed right, I had to disassemble a few things. And if I remember correctly, it also dropped a valve, but it didn't damage anything, so who knows what caused what. But point being is, if you need to remove the pump, this is how. So now we have the pump removed and we're good to go. So if you now want to know how to upgrade your pump, I am going to be making a video on that. Look down below, you'll see the next video. So if you just need to remove the pump, this is how you do it. Like I said, if you need to keep the pump and it's still good to go, then don't break the connection for the garden hose. You're going to want to take a little bit more care and time, and you still don't want to ruin your quick connect if you have a quick connect on there. Okay, well, if this helped you out, definitely like and subscribe, put a thumbs up, and I will catch you on the next video. Have a good night.